Hello friends, I'm Miss Deanna and I'm here at the Bell Road branch of the Newburgh-Chandler Public Library. And we're here to do some exploring outdoors. Now I've been spending a lot of time outside, but unfortunately today it's raining. So we're here inside. And I was outside yesterday and I noticed a dragonfly and a snail and a cat and a goat. I even saw a snake, and all of them had eyes that looked a little bit different than my eyes. And I started to wonder, do their eyes see differently than my eyes? And I was reminded of a book we have in our library called The Queen's Shadow, and it's written by Cybele Young. And like all good stories, it begins with once upon a time. The Queen's banquet had begun, and like all her banquets, she had many special guests in attendance. When suddenly, crash, boom, lightning lit up the sky, and the ballroom and the lights went out. The banquet hall was dark. When the lights returned, the Queen screamed, "Oh no, someone has stolen my shadow," she said, and immediately the royal detective, the mantis shrimp, jumped into action. "Nobody move," he said. Now, I need to tell you a little bit about the mantis shrimp. So we're going to do it through this story what we call a science interruption. So here's the science interruption. The mantis shrimp is not a shrimp, but he looks like a combination of a mantis, a praying mantis, and a shrimp. He gets to be about 12 inches long. That's about as big as an adult foot. But he has the most amazing eyes in the animal kingdom. He has 3 different openings in each eye that allow him to see things from 3 different depths or distances. And he can see colors that the human eye cannot see. He can detect things that are camouflaged, which makes it especially helpful for him to find the fish that he likes to eat on the coral reef where he lives. The mantis shrimp scanned the ballroom. The criminal must be chameleon, with his ability to blend into the background. "Appalling," said the Queen. Sir Chameleon trembled, but he said, "At the time of the flash, my eyes were in 2 different directions." We all know chameleon's eyes can do that. "And I remember seeing a dragonfly with my left and Captain Shark with my right. But I cannot strike unless both my eyes are looking in the same direction." Science interruption. A chameleon gets a little bit bigger than the mantis shrimp. This picture is much bigger than a chameleon would ever be. And the chameleon's eyes can go in 2 different directions at the same time, but he can only strike something with his long, sticky tongue if they're both focused on that object. Otherwise, he can't tell how far away it is. "I think," said Sir Chameleon, "that Captain Shark did it, because he was getting very close to the Queen under the table." "Captain Shark!" exclaimed the Queen. The shark agreed. "I was going underneath the table. I was searching for a fallen piece of cake." Science interruption. Sharks get much bigger than this. They can get up to be 23 feet. And we think that they can only see in black and white, but they have mirrored lenses, and so in the dark it reflects the light, and they do live deep in the ocean, and they need to be able to see better in the dark. If you've ever seen a cat's eyes at night and you know how they glow, cat's eyes have those same mirrored lenses in their eyes as well. I was only under the table to avoid the trampling, when I noticed Miss Pit Viper was already there. You all thought she was just part of the carpet. "You sneaky serpent," yelled the queen. There's Miss Pit Viper peeking out from behind the queen's dress. The Pit Viper gets to be about 12 feet. So think of one of the rooms in your house. It's probably from like one side to the other. And they have eyes with irises that go up and down. And they also have heat detecting sensors between their eyes and their nose. And the heat detecting sensors, even though they are to detect heat, are almost like an extra pair of eyes. You can blindfold a pit viper and it can still hunt by using just the heat detecting sensors. "You sneaky servant," she said. The Pit Viper, Miss Pit Viper, said, "I was just trying not to be trampled by Goat. He could use some dance lessons." He was walking directly toward the queen when the lights went out. Well, goats have rectangular shaped irises. They can see for great distances to the side, and they have fabulous, what they call peripheral vision. They can see to the sides. The goat trembled. "Chud, chewing criminal," yelled the queen. "But I didn't see Her Majesty in front of me," said the goat. "That's my blind spot, because his eyes are on the side. He can't see what's directly in front of him. And I was trampling because I was distracted by the dragonfly, who was buzzing all around me." The queen was not fond of bugs. She was all too glad to blame the dragonfly. And our dragonfly is about the size that you would see a dragonfly in real life. "I like the goat," said the dragonfly, "because he always has tasty flies flying all around him. But I can say with my magnificent eyes," now a dragonfly's eyes, science interruption, are what are called compound eyes. They're like a helmet over the top of almost his entire head. They have many, many lenses and can see lots of things all at once in all different directions. If you've ever tried to catch any kind of fly, you know that no matter which direction you come from, it's almost impossible to catch them. I can say with my fabulous eyes that I saw colossal squid with his legs going everywhere. I bet colossal squid stole the queen's shadow. This is a very tiny colossal squid. I can't show you how big a real colossal squid would be. A real colossal squid can be 50 feet. Think of a basketball court. There's the long way of the basketball court and the short way of the basketball court. 50 feet is about the distance from the short way, one side to the other. But if you also want to think or visualize how big a colossal squid gets, go outside, stand in your yard or on a sidewalk. Note where you're at. Put down a piece of stick or a rock and just walk 50 steps and then turn around and see how far you went. That's how big a colossal squid gets. But a colossal squid has the biggest eyes in the animal kingdom. A colossal squid's eyes are as big as a basketball or a soccer ball. If I was a colossal squid, my eyes would look like this. This is how big a colossal squid's eyes get. underneath the ocean, those big eyes can see a lot in the dark, and they can see long distances. The colossal squid gulped. His arms had been going everywhere. He was trying to grab as many of the tasty treats off the queen's buffet as he could. "Not me," said Colossal Squid. "My hands were already full." But with my huge eyes, I did see Dr. Pigeon flapping very near Her Majesty. Pigeons, a little bit bigger than this, have eyes that can scan very quickly. And we do believe that they can remember segments of what they see. And they can see long distances. And like the mantis shrimp, they can see colors that the human eye can't see. Dr. Pigeon said, I was scanning the room and I remember what I saw at 7, 7:10, 7:15. "Get to the point," said Mantis Shrimp. "Well," said Dr. Pigeon, "right before the lights went out, I saw some scurrying in the shadows. Come out, you two." Just then, the sea urchin twins scooted into view. Sea urchins are covered by these tiny, spiny tubes that have light detecting sensors at the tip and at the base. And that's how they see. It's also how they walk. So they're like a giant foot and a giant eyeball all in one. Imagine having eyeballs on your feet. They get to be about 1 to 4 inches. So this small, like I have, or maybe about that big. "We have been playing in the shadows all night," said the twins. Giggle, giggle. "We couldn't play in the queen's shadow after she visited the ladies' room. We think the queen left her shadow in the potty." The queen turned red. She was so embarrassed. The guards quickly ran to the bathroom and recovered the queen's shadow. The mantis shrimp cleared his throat and said, "Well, we have certainly had many different points of view and ways to see things tonight. But for the sake of the queen's dignity, I think we can all agree that it is time for us to go home." And so they did. But they left in such a hurry, they all forgot their shadows. The end. Okay, friends, I just want to share with you some of the books that we have in the library. This is the one that I told the story from. This is The Queen's Shadow by Cybele Young. And one of the animals that she mentions in it is a brand new animal to me, and that's the mantis shrimp. And here is a picture of what a mantis shrimp would look like underwater. They are not only very colorful, and they have these fantastic eyes. In fact, I think I have a better picture in here. Here's the picture of the mantis shrimp eyes with the 3 different openings. But they are also powerful hunters, and they strike so hard that they would break the side of an aquarium. And so you will never see these in an aquarium. They just can't be kept there. Another book we have is this Winking, Blinking, Wiggling, and Wagging. And it shows not only eyes that animals have, but ears that they have, because animals' ears work differently than our ears too. It's kind of told like a quiz. So it says, whose eyes are these? And it gives you some hints. And then when you turn the page, it tells you the answers. The other one we have that's very similar to that is this one that says, I guess. And this one's kind of neat because, again, it gives you some clues, and then you have to guess what this animal is. And you open it to see what kind of animal it is. And that's called I Guess. All of these books I will put in the description to this video, along with I found 2 really nice YouTube videos that you can use. This one, Eye to Eye, How Animals See the World, and it's got all these great pictures of eyes on the front, and on the back it tells you which eyes those are. It also does a really nice job of explaining the animals and the way that they see. And it tells you the 4 different kinds of eyes animals might have. This is a really, really good science book if you are interested in animals. This one is called Eye by Eye, Comparing How Animals See, and it's very similar to the book I just showed you. It has some amazing illustrations, but it tells you about what kind of animal would you be if you had 8 eyes. What do you think? I'll give you a clue. It's the same kind of animal that has 8 legs. It's a spider. And it just has a really nice way of explaining the different ways that animals see and all the different types of irises and openings that they have in their eyes also. So, Eye by Eye, Eye to Eye, I Guess, Winking, Blinking, Wiggling, and Waggling, and The Queen's Shadow. Come to the library and check them out. Okay, I've shared some books with you, and now what I want to share with you are some ways that you can try and mimic the way that other animals see. The problem with this is that you do not have that other animal's brain. So even though you can sort of simulate it or create it in your head, it won't work exactly the way a goat or a chameleon's eyes do, because you're not a goat or a chameleon. So first of all, grab some toilet paper tubes or get a paper towel tube and cut it in half. An owl, we know, has 2 eyes that don't move. They are solitary in the head. They can't do what ours do. They can only look straight ahead. So if you've ever seen an owl, you know that an owl can turn its head much farther around than we can turn our head. And that's because they can't move their eyes. So you can take 2 toilet paper tubes and put them in front of your eyes. Now this blocks your vision on the side. And so it forces you to turn to see the way an owl might see. Because right now I can't see anything that's to either side of me. Okay? Now the chameleon. The chameleon is the crazy animal that's eyes go this way and that way, and they can move independently. Our eyes can't do that. But you can take your toilet paper tube and have one eye go up and one eye go down. Oh, I see the ceiling and I see the chair at the same time. It's a little bit odd for our brain to process because our brain is used to our eyes working together. All right, the other thing we can do is the goat. So the goat has an iris. That's the black part of your eye. It's the opening of your eye, and it's shaped like a rectangle. And that allows the goat to have really great vision on each side. And that's so that the goat doesn't get Mr. Big Bad Wolf sneaking up on him. So if you take a couple of tubes and make them smaller at the top and wider at the bottom, And you can kind of squish them a little bit to try and create that sort of rectangular shape. And put them over your eyes and put them as far out to the sides as you can where you can still see. And you'll see that, like, I'm looking straight ahead, but I can't see you, and I can't see Miss Emily, who is behind the camera. Directly in front of me is now a blind spot, but I can see pretty good on the sides, okay? The other thing you can do, but only with someone with you, is we also have the sea urchin, and the snail is like this too. They have light detecting sensors at the end for the sea urchin, those tubes, and for the snail, it looks like antenna, but it's actually their eyes. And they use that to detect the light. So if you gently cover your eyes and have somebody turn the light out and turn the light on, you can probably tell when the light is on and when the light is out. You can still sort of see that through your closed eyes. You can also use your fingers. Pretend that they're, sensors. What am I touching? Oh, flowers. What am I touching? Oh, books. It's not quite the same, but it gives you an idea of how it works. All right, my friends, the only thing I could not find a good way to simulate was that fabulous bug eye, the one with all the compound lenses, like a fly or a dragonfly. If you figure out a way to do that, I hope you will share that with me at the library. Come visit me here at the Bell Road branch. It's time for you now to do some exploring outside. I hope you have a chance to look around and see all the different eyes around you. I want you to share some good books, have some time with family and friends, and until I meet you again, we wave goodbye like this, we wave goodbye like this, we clap our hands and stomp our feet, we wave goodbye like this. Bye for now.